Alright, hello everybody! Welcome back to Roadcraft! We're here, we're in Sandswept today. So, let's scout this out, let's see what we gotta work on here. We've gotta restore the collapsed mill and bring urgent help to Town. But, that's a little out of the way, we're not really quite sure how to get there. Now we could scout it out, check it out, but I think what we're going to work on... Actually, I got my links here. I could refuel the links and we can go check that out. Let's do that. I like doing side quests, so... Let's head over here. Let's see if we can get to Town and see what awaits us. There should be a path. Yeah, right here. I can take this path, and that'll take us up over there. So let's go check it out. Let's see, we do have a road request here. So that is interesting. I'm assuming our objective is on the other side of this, so let's go ahead and just follow this. Let's scope this out, see how bad it is through here. It really doesn't look that bad. A lot of rocks here to move. A couple of these dunes to sand over. But for the most part, this road is in decent shape.
Looking at you driving up to that town really gets me thinking. You won't be staying there long at all, but something you build will remain, even if it's just the roads. That's a nice thing to leave behind, knowing it was yours.
Yeah, I agree. Thank you, Kelly. Thank you very much. And we do have another road request here as well, so this one's a little worse for wear. A lot of sand covering the road. But yes, it looks like our request now is to rebuild these two stretches of roads for this, so probably going to want to activate this quarry. I don't have enough tokens to actually activate that quarry. We are going to need that quarry though in order to actually do these two roads. So unfortunately, the help for Town is going to have to wait for another day. So, let's take a look. Restore the collapsed power line near the steel mill. We need to deliver some objects. They are right here, and they have to go up there. So, let's go ahead and just grab the old mule, and let's go move some objects. Alrighty, let's take a look, see if we can find our objects and do something about that. So, there's one of them right here. I suppose it's too wide to fit this way. Well, let's put this one on the back of the truck. Let's go take a look at the second object we need and see if we can fit them both in here, since they both have to go to basically the same place.
Hey, is it just me?
Oh,
Is there
never
a way
mind.
through that crumbled wall? I don't think anybody would mind if we used it as a little shortcut, would they? Then again, even if the ingrates would, we'll be long gone by the time they notice.
Oh boy. I don't like moving those transformers. That is interesting. So use the wall as a shortcut. Not really much of a shortcut with all these rocks here, but I guess it does the trick. Let's see if I can move some of these rocks just off to the side here. Just trying to get some of these bigger ones moved. That's gonna save us some troubles later. Get some of those moved out of the way. Looks like I got one more rock here I want to get moved. Let's get this one out of here. Okay, that one is taken care of. This other one, that's going to be a slightly larger problem. So, Can't really do much with it with the mule. It is a little too big and top heavy to move with the mule. That is going to be an awful time trying to do that. So, we're going to go ahead and grab the heavy equipment hauler here. And while I'm doing that, we're also going to go drop off the paving equipment over in this area here. So we'll get the paving equipment moved over. We'll just drop that off like right over here. Get the paving equipment over. And then take this over to where we can get it loaded up. And then we'll also need to grab Big Billy and bring him over there so we can actually get this thing loaded and unloaded. So first things first, let's go grab our paving equipment, and we're just going to preemptively get it all moved. Actually, let me see. There's another road request right here. Okay, we'll just leave the paving equipment here for now. I'm not quite sure how I want to tackle the order for these road requests that we have to do. I honestly, at this point, unless it's like super in the way, I'll probably just wait until the mission pops up that says, hey, can you do that road? Because most of these are not in situations where it's like, hey, I really need to get the road done to move my equipment through there. Now, if we have to start moving convoys and stuff like that, that becomes a completely different problem. And we'll reassess from there. For now, let's head over and let's get the power transfer. That's what it is. Power transformer. We're trying to remember what exactly it is we're trying to go get. It is a power transformer. So let's go get that done. You know, out of my own morbid curiosity, well, maybe morbid's not really the right word. I'm wondering if I can put the big crane on this trailer and just bring both of them at the same time. I kind of want to try that. So let me get out of the way. I'm just curious. I've never tried this. I want to try it. Who knows? It might save a little bit of time. You know, there is also the very strong possibility I am setting myself up for a very bad time doing this, but I think it's worth a try. I am going to refuel the crane before we go, though. All right, let's let's see what happens here. My God, it actually fits. It actually fits. Incorrect wheel position. You mean, oh, that's why. It doesn't actually fit, does it? All right, let's try this again. I am confident I can get this thing on this trailer. It's not going to be easy, but I bet I can fit this thing on the trailer. Okay, it doesn't look like it wants to. It's just a little too wide. I just don't know how I can really effectively line this up better. This might just be a waste of time. I'm just like, can I just move 2 of these at once? That is about as perfect as it's going to get. Nope. Okay. I can, in fact, not pack these together, which is fine. Okay, we'll just drive them both over. Okay. It was worth a try. It was definitely worth a try, that's for sure. I was able to do that without fully disrupting the route, which is good. Hey. I'm getting hung up on. Is it a rock? These little rocks hanging me up? Oh yeah, there's one stuck under the trailer. That is less than convenient. Okay, I think we shaked it loose. Alright, let's create this power transformer. We're kind of just wasted a bunch of time at the start of the stream here today, so I'd like to actually settle in and get some stuff get some stuff done. Get some stuff going, getting stuff done. We did clear the path we needed, so that is something good. We did explore Typhel Town, so I suppose not that we haven't done anything, but we did waste a good 10-15 minutes there trying to fit the big crane on the big trailer, and just not quite going to work. But I do like this dust storm, though. The dust storm is really cool, a little sandstorm. I like the weather effect there with the sand coating the vehicles. That's a nice touch. I'm just going to take that shortcut we opened up. The sand is pretty deep through here. Well, no matter what, I do have to come through here anyway with the trailer loaded, so Alright, let's power that off, and let's go grab the crane so we can actually get this thing loaded. That is just awful timing. Both times I brought my vehicles down here has been when there's a convoy coming through. Alright, across the bridge we go. I should have gone the other way. I forgot to go the other way, but that's okay. Let's get this thing loaded up. Alright, we got the power transformer loaded up. All we have to do now is deliver it. So let's haul it over first, and then once it's hauled over, we'll bring the crane over so we can actually unload it where it's needed to be unloaded. Barely getting hung up on that concrete there. Oh, can I not fit through here? Okay, let's try with a little more speed. That didn't quite work. Okay, I'm gonna do something different for this. I just don't know how I can squeeze through this gap with this trailer. Don't think I can, so we're gonna have to go around. We'll just have to take the long way. Trailer just didn't have enough clearance to get over that. Might have to use some sand or something just to kind of clear that gap, but I think we'll be okay this way. Now it's just a matter of getting through this deep sand again. I wonder if the position, because I have it kind of just like right on the front wheels there. I wonder if the position of that cargo is affecting the trucks in some way. Because I just do not have the capabilities I had before. Like, I can't get up this anymore. There we go. A little low gear. Alright, now we're moving. Alright, here we are. We got the cargo here. That's here. So now we just go grab the big crane. And we can get this thing delivered. There we go. Alright, that is finally done. Alright, the power lines have been cleared. Now we have the new scout.
Oh, jeez. I think I jinxed it. Long story short, I want you to keep scratching their backs till they can bring production back online. They only need a small favor, you know. Just a container of parts and resources they need to get going. Think you can deliver it? Pretty please?
Okay, what do we gotta do? Concrete slabs. And a route. From Northern Tunnel. Well, that should be easy enough. We can set the route up. Those rocks are going to be a problem. I don't anticipate this going very far. I know I have some rocks I'm going to have to get moved. In the meantime, we can just see where they get stuck at. I think this should be alright, though. Okay, I see what I need to do here. They're taking this turn a little too sharply. Yeah, from there we should be good. Just need to do a little fine tuning here. We got them a little bit too close to the edge here. Now they should be solid. This is a very difficult spot to set up a route. Especially with these big semi-trucks, trying to get them to make these turns. I just don't know how I'm supposed to get him up there. They can't make the turn. I don't know why they're turning so sharply here. Like, I got the waypoints way out of the way here, but they still just keep kind of cutting that corner a little bit. Oh, that one worked. Okay. They can get up there. It's just a little funny with the trailer. But this is going to need a little work. It's just like a really annoying spot to send a semi-truck through. I don't know how else to explain it. This is just like kind of awful. So hopefully I can make this turn this time. It should be taking a wide enough arc to not get caught on the rock. The trailer's still getting caught on the rock, but the truck is not, so I think that's a step in the right direction. The only question is this here, which this should be fine. I know there's kind of this pipe in the way. they should be able to just navigate around that without any issues. This guy is still taking this turn way too sharp. I mean, if I can get him I just gotta get around these, like, snake turns here. And then we're golden, so... If I just move this point a little bit further... Okay, I think that's gonna work. If this works, all we gotta do now is get the slabs, which that's easy enough to do. It's only 3 slabs, so that shouldn't be a problem at all. Why are you doing that? The point is way out here, and you're turning so early. They're just turning way too early. Hopefully with this reset, this will work. Well, now you're over there and can't get going. You're going to back up. Head to the point. There we go. Okay. This might actually work. It's this second guy. This second guy is not very smart. He needs to be replaced. He does not understand how to make a turn. Or maybe he just turns too good. He's always got to hit the apexes and stuff. You never know. Alright, if he can get up here, I think we're in the clear. So, let's go get some slabs. We're going to have to head back to the concrete factory with the mule. I believe... Actually, I have 10 slabs in storage. I also have one here. I think I'll hold on to the slabs I have in storage. Let's go get some scrap. We just need enough for 2 more slabs. So that should be fine. That should be easy enough to do. The route is going to get there. It's going to be all good. Route failed. What do you mean the route failed again? What are we getting stuck on? Let's just shift that over and give it a go. I don't know what else I can really... There's not really much I can do to, like, fix the road. It's just entirely a pathing issue. It's just... I don't know. That's kind of a silly place to send a convoy through, because it's just... It's very tight, narrow, and you have very long trucks to try to get through there, so... It just has to be so precise on the route. I guess that's part of the challenge, but... It's definitely frustrating, because it's like, you're not... Like, it's one thing, it's like, oh, it's got to go through, like, a mud pit or something, and I can, like, actually go do something to make the route go. But there's nothing else I can do with that route other than just babysit the route to make it go better. Well, we got some concrete scrap here, so... Let's chow down. Alright, let's go ahead and get this concrete delivered. Sorry, I was kind of just zoning out there for a moment. We spent some time loading the concrete. No, that's not what I wanted to do. I wanted to anchor. Because we were about to dip over. Alright, let's go ahead and grab some fuel, and then once we grab fuel, we'll go get this concrete delivered. We'll get the slabs loaded up, and then I'm going to take another look at that route. I'm not sure what the heck's going on over there, so I am just starting to get, like, beyond frustrated with this route because it's just such a terrible, terrible place to try to send a semi-truck. I mean, I had a hard enough time doing it with the Zix semi-truck, but to try to send a Wayfarer through there that doesn't understand how you have to take a wider turning radius to make a tight corner with a rock on the inside of it, I don't know. It's just... I know it's, like, my fault because I'm supposed to, like, navigate the route better, but I don't know how to navigate the route better when it doesn't want to do what I'm trying to make it do. Can I just put these points closer together, maybe? What if I just make it swing super wide here? It'll be alright. I mean, these trucks are going just fine through here. See, that one's delivered. This one's going to get delivered. Semi-truck number 1. You're going to get there. Now what's Dingus going to do? Again, turning way too sharply. But still going to get there. Okay. Alright. That is underway. Okay. Finally that route is done. I'm sure when they start dispatching trucks, they're just going to get stuck again. And we're just going to have to keep resetting the route. But, in the meantime... we got concrete to make, we got concrete to deliver, we got concrete to do all kinds of concrete stuff with, so let's go ahead and get that done. That is our next step. Concrete time, concrete, concrete, concrete. Alright, we are arriving at the concrete plant, so let's head on up here and get this dropped off. Hopefully it's enough for 3 slabs. If not, there's some extra concrete here we can use. But I think we're going to be alright. Oh yeah, that was enough for 7 slabs. We just need 3. Alright, we got concrete loaded up. Let's go ahead and get this dropped off. And then we'll move on to the next objective, whatever that may be. Might do some road building. Not sure yet. But this should be a relatively simple task here, now that the route is underway, which was the hardest part of this objective, but we get this done, we should have a steel mill up and running, which will give us access to steel beams and steel pipes. So we'll be able to get whatever resources we need moving forward for bridges and other projects. Might also take a moment and clean up some of these routes as well. I'm sure I have routes running right now that I'm not getting any more reports from, and so it might be nice to just clear the traffic a little bit. Alright, now we just gotta finish this long journey back over here all the way across the map. Get these concrete delivered. I'm actually really enjoying this map. It's just kind of this middle... Whoa, hold on. This middle section is a little on the slow side. Not a whole lot to do. Like, variety of things to do. It's very just kind of linear here, but I really enjoyed the opening segment of this map. Curious to see how this map continues to develop as we expand. I mean, we've got the power lines going. We're going to get the steel factory up and running. We do have roads to build, but I can't quite do those roads for Town until we actually get another service token to open up the sand quarry. Once we get the sand quarry opened up, we'll be able to bring dump trucks down here and get those 2 roads done. So, a lot of just kind of hanging out on that at the moment. Hopefully we can get another service token here soon. But we do have a cool new scout that we'll be able to play with as well, so that's really fun. I'm looking forward to get my hands on that. I mean, we already drove it the one time we had to deliver one, but now we have one for ourselves, which is kind of cool. Training objectives 4. They haven't departed yet. Curious about that. Oh, I don't think they will until I actually finish this objective. So let's go ahead and finish. That's going to deliver the concrete slabs, and that should send the route on its way again. And there we go, goal complete. Pick up the pieces. We have done the first goal of the map.
Believe it or not, this whole area used to be green as lettuce, in the environmentally conscious sense. It was running off a solar power station. Naturally, the storm threw a spanner in the works. But I cling to the hope that the panels are just dirty. Could you drop by and check it for damage? Also, looks like we need an operations base close to the port. Find a good spot somewhere on the river, then... Sorry. It's just the usual list of wants from the local authorities. Boring. But nothing you can't handle, right?
Alrighty. Thank you, Kelly. Let's see what we got going on here. And we're going to have to head all the way off into this unknown area now. Oh, ooh. That is not good. I forgot to shut this off. And that is not a fuel station I can actually refuel at. So far, still hard. Welcome to the stream. We're working on Sandswept right now. Let's see. We've got to find out what happened at the solar station, which is up here, and set up a river base. So let's go ahead and do the river base. We'll head past Town and go from there. But welcome in. We're working on Sandswept right now on Roadcraft Hard Mode, having a good time. We just finished getting the steel mill up and running, so the first section of progress is done. Now we're moving on to new projects. Oh, I got you. Yeah, SnowRunner's pretty fun too. I've played a lot of SnowRunner. I've played a lot of Expeditions, and I've been playing a lot of Roadcraft lately as well. I really enjoy Roadcraft. It's quite a bit different though, but it's fun. I do like it's entirely sandbox, so you kind of just, I mean, there's like tasks, objectives, and things that need to be done, but how you do those is completely up to you, and I think that makes it kind of fun. Really? I never noticed that. Most of the folks I talked to that were playing Roadcraft when it came out were like, this is awesome, this is fun. I don't really put a lot of stock into open reviews, if that makes sense. Because here's the other thing, like with Roadcraft and Expeditions, right? When they came out, there were just tons of negative reviews that came out, and I noticed a lot of like the negative reviews I came across were from folks that, you know, played a lot of SnowRunner and were like, that just want another SnowRunner game, and instead they're doing different things. And so there's a lot of negative reviews that come out because of that. And so trying to like sift through those to find like actual like decent reviews, it's a lot of work than just like glancing at reviews, because like the top reviews you're going to see are going to be a lot of negative reviews. You're not, I don't know, that's why I'd rather like get, like most of the feedback I got from Roadcraft actually came from the SnowRunner Discord channel. Listening to the feedback from the demo that came out before the game launched, folks that were doing beta testing, and just a lot of just the actual community interaction was very positive when Roadcraft came out, and it's the complete opposite when you look at like game reviews. It's very strange. And the same thing happened with Expeditions, which I love Expeditions. I think Expeditions is a fantastic game. They just came out with the Season 4 DLC, which is, you know, probably the best update Expeditions has ever had in terms of interesting content and map layout and things like that. And, you know, granted, the game had its flaws when it came out. There was a lot of weird interface issues and a lot of bugs in the gameplay. And they actually, like, the dev team set all of that aside. Like, they had, like, the planned content updates, and they pushed a lot of the planned content, like the expansion content, aside so they could focus on doing a bunch of bug fixes and things like that, which the game needed. And it was really interesting because, like, at the time, you know, Expeditions was getting, you know, review bombed for being buggy and not having this feature and that feature, and it's not SnowRunner 2, it's not doing this, it's not doing that, when it was trying to do its own thing. And so the dev team spent their time fixing the bugs. And while they were doing that, reviews were coming in from folks saying, well, I paid for the season pass content, but I don't have the content. And it's like, it's just like, it's kind of frustrating when you look back at like Expeditions and the reviews and things like that, because it's like, well, everybody was complaining about the bugs, so they spent their time fixing the bugs and listening to feedback and trying to make the game better. And then you had people turning around saying, well, where's the content? And it's just, you know, it's a little funny sometimes, but Expeditions is a ton of fun right now. Unfortunately, all the content that's out for it right now is all the content you're going to see. It has reached pretty much end of development cycle. They will not be making new content for Expeditions, but the content that is there is really good. It's really fun. And if you like, you know, driving the scouts around in SnowRunner, like doing scouting, going to watchtowers, those sorts of things, I think you'll like Expeditions. It is entirely scout-focused, exploration, point A to point B, you know, interacting with this thing, interacting with that thing, checking this out, checking that out, going through caves and stuff. It's really cool, and I think it's in the best spot it's ever been, and unfortunately it is end of life. for new content for the game, but it's definitely worth checking out, for sure.
All right. X marks the spot. I suppose the view explains the shopping list from the locals, doesn't it? If we want to settle here, you have your work cut out for you. And the company really does want this spot, so you better get going.
Okay, in order to set up river base, I need to build a road. We need slabs, we need beams. I got slabs. We just need beams, and where's this road gotta go? It's this road right here. Okay. And we got a lot of road to build. That is a lot of road to build, and I do have a quarry here. This quarry can be activated for 5 service tokens. I have 9. I need to open up this one as well. This is for the oil station. That's a road. Let's make our way up to the solar station and check that out. Let's just kind of get a flow for what we got to work on here. I would like to get those roads to Typhletown done, but it's going to be really hard without having all the tokens to open up that sand quarry. That is going to be an issue. I mean, it's not really... I say issue, it's more of an inconvenience than anything, because without the quarry activated, I got to make just very long trips with the sand to get the road built, so... Kind of looking for something other than these road build requests at the moment. So let's go check out the solar station and see if there's anything here I can do that doesn't involve building a road. So we got a lot of rocks and stuff like that to move here. Alright, let's see. Well, yeah, I hope everybody's having a good Monday. Still hard. You're still here. Hope you're having a good Monday. We're just, yeah, checking out the solar station, and hopefully one of these tasks that we can find will give us another service token. Hopefully 6 tokens. 6 tokens are great. Alright, what are we doing here?
If this isn't a porcelain shop after a herd of elephants threw a party, then I don't know what is. Still, maybe it's not as bad as it looks. Could you drive around and check
A porcelain shop after a herd of elephants threw a party?
But I trust your usual creativity.
Alright. Let's see. This doesn't reward a service token, but... See, we should be able to reach these areas with the scout. Yeah, it shouldn't be too bad. Alright, let's check it out. What I really need, though, is a fuel station over here. That would be great. So I'd like to get that next garage opened up, but again, road requests sand very far. Not quite sure what to do, so... Alright, so we can go right through here. That'll get us to our first waypoint. Alright, we'll have to go out and around to the top. Shouldn't be too much of an issue. Definitely got our work cut out for us on this map, though. I'm almost wondering if I'm going to have to buy a service token. I'm pretty sure you can buy those from the depot. Alright. Route failed! What do you mean the route failed? You just gotta complete that route a few more times. That's all you gotta do.
We don't know if the port itself is still in one piece. So could you go and check it out?
I suppose we could head on down to the port and check that out. Do I have the, I don't have a construction depot opened up yet, either. Alright. Got the repair shop. I don't have the construction depot yet. I need service markers. That's what I need. So I guess we'll head on down back to the port, I suppose. Just kind of loop back around. I don't really see any fuel anywhere, though. I really could use some fuel over here, and I just don't see any. So this is not a usable gas station, unfortunately. Well, let's head over there and see what happens. Definitely thinking fuel is going to be a huge concern on this map. If only I had come up here first and then down towards the port. That would have been great, because I went to the port first and then came up here. I mean, I was hoping that by going to the port, it would just open up what I needed for fuel, but it was definitely not the case, so... let's head back down. Then squeeze our way through these rocks again. Okay, yeah, if I just follow this road, it should take me right down where I need to go, so we're just going to go ahead and do that. Going fast is fun in this vehicle, but you cannot turn and go fast at the same time. That was an interesting experience there. Let's get off this rock. Definitely a lot of rocks here. Ooh, I see water where it shouldn't be.
And here we have the nastier side of the oil industry. As if there were a less nasty one, but I digress. See that oil spill? We've been asked to help stop it. You'll need to find a replacement pump at the nearby quarry. Bring it here, and then repair the pipes. I guess it's pointless to tell you to hurry, but I still will. Time is oil seeping into the ground, and that's no good for anyone.
Alright, well, let's go ahead and check out.
Good grief. I think there's a pattern here. When we don't know if something is okay or not, it always turns out smashed to pieces. Ah, well, it's not like I'm surprised.
Alright, let's see. Can I just squeeze through here? Looks like I can. I don't know exactly where I plan to go with this information, but oh, you know what? What am I doing? I can actually use these cranes. Okay, I don't have to, like, snake my way through here. I can use these cranes and actually clear a path, so let's go ahead and do that. Never mind, there's no power. Okay. Alright, we got an oil spill blocking that side. Let's see. Liquidate oil spills. Find object at the sand quarry. Alright. The question is, where exactly do I go? I gotta get to the other side here. All these boxes in the way? I don't know. Let's see if we can squeeze through there. We were kind of making some progress before I stopped and turned around, so... There we go. Alright, I don't suppose I can get to the other side here. There looks like... Yeah, there's a pretty nasty drop-off there. So I think we're gonna have to circle back and see if we can get... I think I can get through here. And that might get us across. Maybe? Maybe I can just go right across the oil spill? I don't know, I've never tried that. Alright, let's head on through here. If I can just remember the spot I used to get through here. Yeah, it was this, right here. That's going to get us through here. I am in very desperate need of some fuel. I need to get across here. I don't know what's going to happen when I go into the oil, but perhaps I can just go around the oil. Okay, the oil just functions like water, so that's good to know. This should get us to our final spot at the port here.
exactly right. You need to sweep the port to make it usable again.
Okay.
Take a bulldozer or a mobile crane and get those damaged containers and scattered pipes out of the way.
Alright, we're gonna have to move all these crates. That's going to be an interesting project. I really need this river base opened up. Well, there's my construction depot. That I need. I need the construction depot. We need to clear these objects. And I don't think I can use these. There's no power. Yeah, there's no power here. I'm not even sure where to start, really. Because we gotta get the power restored. What's the power map look like right now? Where is power? I don't think we have a good source of power yet. We do not. Nothing's online. No power. I'm assuming we got to get the solar station online first, and that will do it. So let's go ahead and grab the mule, and let's see about doing this liquid oil spills. Let's see if we can find the pump and get this done. We're kind of in a bind right now because I've got a lot of road requests that need to be done to progress, but the problem is I don't have any sand on this side of the map. There's 2 quarries. This quarry I can activate for 5, which will let me do this road request pretty easily, but we're still just so far from everything right now. But this would open up the river base, which would make this a little easier to do if we get this opened up. Ideally, what I want to do is open this quarry first and do these 2 roads right here. Because that's just going to make it way easier to get to everything over here to do this road. But I'm 1 service token short of being able to do that. And in order to do that, I got to get the port up and running, because that's where the construction depot is, where I can buy a service token. Otherwise, I got to come all the way down here. That is the only sand quarry. Well, there's one over here too. Those are the only sand quarries I have. I suppose any of these reward a service token. I don't think so. No. And this is failing like every other truck for some reason, preventing me from getting pipes. Oh, we're in a bit of a bind right now. I think we have to do this fuel pump. We have to find this fuel pump. That's what we have to do. I don't think... Yeah, my scout's not going to have enough fuel to actually get over there and look for it. So I think we're going to have to leave the scout where it's at right now. I got another scout that ran out right here. I thought this was a gas station. It is, in fact, not a usable gas station. It might be once we get the roads done. Alright, so let's just set this up real quick. I'm going to jump in... I'm going to jump in my comm low. We're going to bring some fuel over just to the other side of this bridge. I'm going to grab the mule. We're going to swing by, refuel the mule, and go see if we can find the pump to liquidate oil spills and see if that does anything productive for our adventure. Otherwise, we are in a huge bind right now in terms of what we can reasonably work on and what's reasonably accessible. It's probably going to be a situation where I'm just going to have to, you know what, this is kind of inconvenient, but it's how we're going to have to do that. I don't really want to run truckloads of sand all the way across the map multiple times. That just sounds like a completely miserable experience. But what I might be able to do, is we get this fuel pump done, maybe it'll open up something else. If not, I should be able to bring the big crane down there and start moving all those crates and things like that out of the way using the big crane. That might be an option that we can do. It is going to be a difficult situation though, because I do not have a lot of fuel over there. I have no fuel supply on this entire section of the map right now. I got no fuel and I got no sand. And I'm not entirely sure what to do about that at the moment. I'm not sure. Well, let's go see if we can find a pump. If we can find the pump, that'll at least get us something done. Maybe it'll open something up, maybe make the area slightly more accessible. I'm not really sure. We're kind of just... This is a very interesting situation, and it's a situation that would only occur on hard mode. With the fuel and the tokens and the sand. This is a very hard mode exclusive problem that has turned what was a relatively chill, enjoyable map into... It's still enjoyable, but now it's a very complex puzzle. I was not expecting this map to turn into a complex puzzle, but I'm actually very happy about that because we've got 3 maps accessible to us at the moment. I want to see... I know I can't... It's not going to let me refuel here. I don't know if I can refuel in the back. Like, can I go, like, behind here to these fuel tanks and actually get fuel? I don't think so. No. Okay. I'm wondering if when I get Eiffel-Town up and running, if the fuel station becomes active, because that would be fantastic. But, again, the problem is I don't have sand over here to do the road request to get what I need done, so... Someone's just having a barbecue in the swamp. Interesting. Alright. Alright, so this is the game plan right now. From what I've been able to just kind of piece together. Okay, we're going to go look for a pump, and we're going to do this objective. After this, I think our best option would be to grab Big Billy and bring him down here to the port and just start moving boxes and stuff. So that's kind of all I got at the moment. So I got a lot of these rocks and things that need to get shifted out of the way, but that's something I want to deal with at the moment. But it is stuff that's going to have to get moved out of the way at some point. I really just need to bring the dozer over here and just move all these rocks. That's what I need to do. Well, let's head up to the quarry. Let's see if we can find this pump. It's probably going to be difficult to spot without a scout scanner. But at the same time, I'm sure once I find it, it's going to be glaringly obvious what exactly I'm looking for. So okay, I am moving these rocks right now. I was going to wait. These rocks are being moved absolutely right now. You're going over there. I hope this isn't a complete waste of my fuel right now, but these big rocks have got to go. They got to get moved anyway because they got to put a road here. Isn't quite the one I wanted, but it'll work. I was trying to get that smaller one behind me, but they all gotta go. That's just going to save a little bit of time later. There's still a few of these rocks that need to be moved, but at least I can get through here for now until it's time to actually work on this objective. So, moving on. Alright, we are looking for a pump. If I was a pump, where would I be hiding? Well, there's a little toy dozer here. That's good to know. Is this my pump right here? That looks like my pump. That is the pump. Okay. Alright, we got the pump, and then we also have to do a pipe. Alright, there's the pump. But we're also going to have to make a second trip for pipe as well, so... Fortunately, I do have pipes storage. But that doesn't entirely help me right now, because storage is on the other side of the map. I'm very perplexed by this map right now. Does that have to go up there? That goes up here. And the pipe is floating up in the air. Oh, it's not that floaty. That's reachable. Oh, no, 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 no. That is not okay. Let's get out of this. That was bad. That was very bad. I was not expecting that to be that deep. Okay. That was almost enough to completely break my map. Getting this mule stock, that can break this map, and I would be done and sunk. Not really. I would just have to pay money to recover, but trying not to pay money to recover. I haven't paid money to recover any vehicles yet so far in this playthrough, and I am intending to keep it that way, so... Let's take a look here. Okay, the pump is active. I just need to get a pipe down here. Which means I'm probably going to have to go right along the edge here to get over there to get the pipe in place. But I'm going to have to get the pipe. And we're also have to clear this out. But we can't clear this out without power. This is definitely a conundrum. Alright, so we need... a lot. Need a lot of fuel. I don't have... I feel like it sounds like I'm just complaining right now, but I'm also just like trying to analyze the resources on hand with what is available to me, is what I'm trying to do. Because there is no can't in Roadcraft. There's no can't. Everything can be done. Doesn't mean it's going to be done easily, or conveniently. But everything can be done. I'm just taking a look right now. I think this is a really good route. It might be fine to drive a truck along. Take me down here. And then that can get across here. But what can I do by crossing the river here? That is what I'd like to know. I can cross the river here, but what do I get by crossing the river there? Because there's this whole middle section of the map here that hasn't been opened up yet. And then there's this top corner as well. What is down here? That's what I need to know. Huh. Well, I do have 105 liters of fuel still in this vehicle. That is what I have available to me. That is what I have available to work with. I do have 5 pipes all the way back at the desert base. Well, any base really, but I only have 1 base opened at the moment. You know, it is break time. I have been streaming for 2 hours straight. I'm going to take a little break. And I'm going to ponder this for a moment, come up with a plan. And when I come back, we'll have a plan. We'll know what we're doing. So, I'll be back in just a moment. Alright, everybody, I have returned, and I think I have a plan, so let's get to it. So, here's what we're going to do. We're going to go get the pipe we need for this. And we're going to get this done. And what I think I'm going to do is we're going to open up this quarry here and try and get this road done. If I can get this road done, we'll be in great shape, because it would be nice to get these roads done too. These roads are not super important at the moment. And I'm going to wait until we can actually open up this quarry to do that. So it's going to be interesting. I'm going to have to hope we have enough fuel, but I should be able to get this road done, and we can finish up opening up river base, and that is going to give us the fuel we need to actually do a lot of the stuff we need down here. So first things first, we're going to go get the pipe done and see what this opens up. That might change the plan a little bit, but if it doesn't really open up what we need, then that's what we're going to do. We're going to go get the road done and open up river base so that we can get vehicles and stuff over in this section of the map a lot easier. Keep everything fueled up and running. That is the plan. So I had to kind of take a moment and think about it. We did have a, I try to take frequent breaks just for stream health and quality, so make sure I got my hydration, all that good stuff. But no, we're not going that way. That's the wrong way. So that's the plan. We're going to do the pipe, and then we're going to try to do a road. So let's go ahead and head on over to the pipes facility. Let's get some metal scrap loaded up and get the pipe taken care of. And then we'll just kind of go from there. So this road, that quarry, shouldn't be too bad to get moved and taken care of and all that, so it shouldn't be too bad. It's kind of a short road anyway, so hopefully be bringing the dump truck over here. We're going to refuel everything before we venture out first, of course, but that should be exactly what we need. What map are you on? We're on Sandswept right now. We're on Sandswept today, so kind of in a bit of a bind at the moment, and I'm trying to unravel what we need to get done. Because we're kind of on this side of the map here where there's not a lot of resources, and we got a lot of road requests, and I've got quarries that are not open that I can't really open yet that I'd like to open, so in the process of just kind of taking the puzzle apart and trying to put it back together again. So it's kind of what we're working on at the moment, and I think I found a solution, a plan that is going to hopefully allow us to get this working a little better. So Right now I'm on my way up to the steel pipes facility. We're going to get a pipe so we can take care of the oil spill, which might open us up. So what do we know? Can we go this way? Yeah, I can just go this way. This is fine. We'll take a little shortcut. This might be a bad idea, but I think it'll be fine. There's a lot of stuff that I'd like to get done, but I just don't have the resources available to really dive into what I want to get done. The biggest resource, of course, being fuel. We are concerned about fuel at the moment. This didn't remotely go where I thought it was going to go. Like, at all. Like, that was a longer route. Or maybe it was a shortcut. I'm not sure. It was kind of a shortcut. But let's go ahead and head on up to the steel mill. Let's see if we can get some resources together. I do have a dozer over here that might need some refueling to get where we're trying to go for the road request. But I'm also, like, mentally thinking, like, 4 or 5 steps ahead, and I should just focus on the objective at hand right now, because I don't know what's going to open up once we get this done. It may open up some better options of things that we can work on. Alright, let's take this up to the pipes facility and let's get some pipe. Go ahead and grab this pipe. Alright, we got the pipe loaded up. We're going to go ahead and get this replaced and see what happens. I'm going to stop and get some fuel on the way there. I do have a little bit of fuel left in my fuel supply vehicle. So we're going to go ahead and just take what's left of that. And then when this is done, I do have a couple of ideas. A couple of ideas of things we can work on. But I also want to see if this opens up something new that might be an even better option that we can work on. So alright, so we're stopping by my service vehicle over here. We're going to just top off the fuel tank as much as we have anyway. And then we'll be able to kind of just go from there. So that should give me enough fuel to get there and back. So that's all we need. Gonna try to conserve as much fuel as I can on the way there. Data, what happened? What just happened to my stream? Ah, don't tell me we're dealing with this again. We back? Oh, it looks like we're back. We're back. Okay. Alright. A little bit of hesitation there, but hey, we're back. Cool. I think we're back? Yeah, we should be back. Okay. Sorry about that. A little bit of lag on the stream there. We're good to go, though. Alright, I think I've been doing a pretty good job of conserving fuel. We've only used 20 liters of fuel to get most of the way there, so... I'm pretty sure I made a wrong turn somewhere, but I think we're alright. Yeah, we just go down over these rocks to get back on the path we're supposed to be on. No, 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 no! Oh, come on. Oh, hold on. Oh, that was so close. That was so close to being a complete disaster. I just need to get through this oil. There we go. We got through here. And the scream's crapping out again. Oh my god, why does this keep happening to me? I thought this was supposed to be fixed. My ISP told me this issue was going to be fixed. And it's not. Right before the big pipe fix. Why? This is like the worst time. Are we back now? Is it good? Is it just hang up? Is it just up and down? I don't know what's going on. At least it's not like down like it was before. I think we're good. I think we're back. We're good. Alright. Thanks. I think. We should be good now. No, it just keeps... It's up and down. It's up and down. Right, what is going on with the stream right now? It's like there, and then it's not there. I don't know. I gotta get this pipe in place though. Hopefully you guys don't miss anything crazy. Well, the oil's gone now. So we actually have a road through here now. But we do have a paved road through here that we can actually, you know, use. Give it a minute. I didn't have any issues on Thursday, but I'm having issues again today. I had issues last week. Having issues again. I'm just going to throw up the BRB. We're going to give it a few minutes and see if it stabilizes. And just kind of go from there. I hope you guys can at least hear me. Even if you can't see exactly what's going on. Hey, I think we're back. I think we're good. I did go ahead and reset my network connection while we were waiting. So hopefully that is what we need. If it drops again, that's probably going to be the end of the stream. But I want to try to keep going. See if maybe it was just a little hang up that we just got to wait for. But anyway, welcome back, everybody. We're back. We're good. Solid for the time being, anyway. While all that was happening, I did get this pipe installed. I don't know if you guys were able to actually see the pipe installation or not, which did drain all of this oil right here. So I did notice that did open up this job right here, repair the oil station, which is actually something that we can work on this side of the map here with this road request. So we can actually kind of work on that for now, and that'll give us something that we can, you know, kind of work on, get this up and running. A little side quest, we can get this going. So I think that's what we're going to work on, because it'll give us something that we can do in the meantime. And once we get that done, we'll see about getting River Base up and running, and we'll see what this opens up as well. There might be some more stuff over here. Maybe we can get those repair tokens that we need to open up this sand quarry, which will allow us to work on all of this as well. So kind of that's the plan. So let's go ahead and jump in the old dump truck. Let's go ahead and get it refueled. And let's go build a road. And retain and deploy. That'll give us some sand. With that, let's head on down here and get started on this road request. So just give us an initial batch of sand that we can get started on, and then we'll be able to hit the quarry on the north end of this road request and kind of work our way backwards.
See that tangle of pipes over there? Believe it or not, it's the beating heart of the local oil industry. And it needs our help. Nothing fancy either. Just plot a route for spare parts delivery and fix their leaky pipes. Should be easy enough for you, and good for business.
Let's try to get this lined up a little better. It was kind of goofy with that, like, sand dune there. Alright, let's head on up to the quarry. Let's get some more sand. And we'll see if we can get this road done today. Alright, let's go get some more sand down. I'm gonna have to bring the dozer back over here. I kind of had the dozer over there working on other projects. So the dozer's gonna have to make its way back over here. And probably gonna have to do the same thing with the equipment hauler so we can get the paver and roller over here as well so we can work on this. So we got a lot to do. This network issue is driving me crazy. I am glad it didn't stay down longer than it did. I'm really hoping, because I am going to be doing another stream tomorrow, that I don't have the same issue tomorrow. Because Thursday's stream went perfect. The Expedition Season 4, that went perfect. I just keep having these issues with the Roadcraft streams, and I don't know what's going on with that, so... I do apologize for any inconvenience in the stream quality, or even the, if you're watching the VODs, apologize for the lower quality there with the internet. I don't know exactly what's going on with that. Last week I was back and forth with my ISP like 3 or 4 times because I had a hunch they were throttling my network, and sure enough they were. They wouldn't admit it though, but they were. And I bet you they're still doing it. They always claim they're not throttling, but I'm pretty sure they're throttling me, because it just doesn't make sense that this would just cut out like this during a stream, so... Just really, really frustrating that they are able to do that, and they continue to do that, and not let me use my network the way I want to. It's just really frustrating, so... just shy of doing that on one more load of sand. We are going to need a little bit more sand, so let's go ahead and get another load. And we'll also be able to just kind of top off a few of these areas that are a little light on sand, just to make sure everything's got enough sand for the road. Alright, let's go ahead and get finished with the sand. let's see here. Fortunately, we spilled a bunch on the way over here, but we got more than enough sand for the little spots that we're working on here. There we go, that should be good. And just in time for the network to go out again, so I'm going to have to call it here, guys. Thank you guys so much. I'm sorry this had to end on just such a sour note here. We were having a lot of fun today. We're going to be giving this a go tomorrow at 6:30 Eastern. So if you guys are here, you guys are still here, which I think it's back up again. I'm tired of this like up and down with the network, but I'm going to call it here. I'm getting a little frustrated with this right now. We're having a lot of fun though. We're making some actual progress on Sandswept. It's great. We still got some puzzles that we got to figure out, but I'm going to be live again tomorrow night, 6:30 Eastern, and we're going to have some more fun on Roadcraft and go from there. On top of that, there's another Expeditions video coming out in 30 minutes, so you will see that then. Enjoy it, and I hope you guys all have a wonderful rest of your evening, and until next